All right, what's up everyone? Welcome in to our August live stream. Super excited to be here with you all today. My name is Aaron Nahara and I'm the head of content at Polarr Next, and we've got Jonathan, our community manager with Polarr Next, in here with us. So if you have any questions at all during today's live stream, please just type in the chat and get Jonathan's attention, and he'll be watching and looking out for your guys' questions. So we've got a very exciting live stream to go over with you all. Of course, every month that we do this, we have lots of different new updates that we get to go through, and I'm excited especially for today because last month we had our CEO Polarr come on stream with me, and he got to share a little bit about himself and a lot about, you know, the project that we've got coming up with culling. And I don't know if there's anyone in here who was here during our last live stream back in July who got to check out that exclusive look at culling. This is something that we've been working on a lot for the last couple months, and today we've got a whole new preview to share with you all, and it's really exciting. So we're definitely going to jump into that. There's a couple other updates that we've got deployed as well, and we're going to go through that. We're going to go through that today. Let's see, let me grab some water. All right. And we just, sorry, Jonathan, I don't know if you saw that email, but we just got an email in from someone who requested photo edit demonstration. So if we have time, we can definitely get into that. All right, so the first thing we're gonna talk about, all right, so Polarr Next, we all understand that one of the great things about Polarr Next is that it's web browser based, and this is something that I honestly didn't think too much of at the time when I was first introduced to Polarr Next. I was thinking, how the heck are you going to be able to edit thousands of raw uncompressed files through a web browser? You know, I'm so used to Lightroom, I'm so used to downloading like regular software and stuff like that. So as you know, we do have our web app. Well, one thing that we've been working on as well as culling lately is desktop mode. So this is different than the PWA. For instance, if I go to our Polarr Next web app, you guys can see I've launched the web app here, and if I go to the top at the URL bar, you can see that there's this monitor with the download arrow. If I click it, Google Chrome is going to ask me, do you want to install this app? And I could say yes, go ahead and install. And now I've got this really cool lightweight version of our app. I don't have to open up the web browser in order to access Polarr Next. I've literally just got it here on my desktop. I could pin it to my taskbar. So there is this is the PWA app. You're also able to do this with Microsoft Edge, depending on which browser you would rather use. So this is what we've got cooking, is a little different. So let me go ahead and click back into Google Chrome real fast. All right, so we're back into our web page. Now, instead of going to the launch web app, we've got this little tab up here that says download, and when you click into it, we say Polarr Next is a web app. However, if you prefer to use Polarr Next without using browser tabs, you could also install our desktop app. So when you go ahead and install that, sorry, I believe, Jonathan, we don't have the link on our website yet. My bad. I got too ahead of myself. I'm showing you guys, hold on a second. Let me get the right link real quick. All right. Here we go. So our desktop app, let me get the link for it. Sorry about that, guys. I was way ahead of myself. For some reason, I thought we had already deployed the link. Okay. Okay. Sounds good, Jonathan. All right. Got the link. All right, here we go. So you go and you download it, and I will show you guys a quick preview of it. Come on, Google Chrome. There it is. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and install it. And we'll go install. And we'll run it. Okay. So here is our desktop app. We are still testing it right now. Not available just yet, but looks a little different than our PWA app from Google Chrome. Let me see if I can open up at the same time. Okay, so as you can see, I've got two little desktop apps open. This one right here in front of me is the PWA. So you can see you've got the Google Chrome extension button there. Little different. We got the 3 dots there. This app is a little different. You don't need to have Google Chrome or Microsoft Edge installed on your system. You can just download this link, either Mac OS or Windows PC. You can download Polarr Next and it'll work for you. So really cool. You also have all the same tabs and works just the same as our regular web app experience. Okay, so there's that announcement. We've got a couple exciting announcements to talk about, guys. We do have a new My AI Styles tab that we're gonna get into as well a little bit later on. But if that's something that you guys have noticed lately, that is also a new update. A great place to be able to find all of the AI styles that you've trained. And then when you have the AI styles and it goes away from this, then you have the ability to jump right back in when you import the AI style. So we'll definitely jump into that a little bit more, but most excitedly, I don't know if that's a correct phrase or whatever, but we're really excited to talk about our Labor Day sale coming up. All right, so we've got a Labor Day sale coming up. This coupon code will be sent to you all through email. It's gonna go out on Friday, and this sale is gonna last all the way until next Friday, September 6th. So this Labor Day sale, we're gonna be offering Polarr Next a discount off Polarr Next 66%. So if you've been waiting for your chance to be able to subscribe to Polarr Next, we're gonna be able to give it to you guys for about $20 a month. This discount is gonna bring it down to about $20 per month, or if you like to pay for the year, the discount code will give you Polarr Next Unlimited Edition for $200 for the year. So that coupon code will be going out this Friday. Now's the time to jump on it. We're really excited about that. And if you have any questions, please let us know what you think about it. Okay, without further ado, let's go ahead and let's jump into Polarr Next culling. All right, let me go ahead and open up the link here that we have our latest build on. All right, here we go.
Meet Cheryl. Hey. She's on vacation and lost in the moment. Unfortunately, so is her Chase debit card. It's gotta be somewhere. Maybe she lost it at Salsa now.
What is this? Let me skip this little ad. All right, there you go. All right, let me switch over screens. So let me go back a little bit. So we've got Polarr Next culling. Let me pull this up real fast. So this is what our culling app looked like. Let's see, actually, let me see if we can get there. Oh, one thing I noticed, my face is covering the auto grouping stacking sliders. So, but you can see here, we've got this top strip all small, bottom strip. So this is what our culling app looked like last month. And then this is what our culling app looks like this month. All right, so I've got it pulled up in our latest build. Let me go ahead, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna bring in a totally new project, and I've got this new engagement session that I did recently, and we're gonna cull through this. All right, so the first thing is that when you jump into Polarr Next and you create a new project, the current flow is you have the ability to choose between culling and editing. So we're gonna go ahead and start with a cull. So we're gonna hit continue to cull, and we're gonna read Polarr Next can auto group your photos based on similarity, recognize faces, and analyze aesthetic scores. You can also use your favorite shortcuts to rate and label photos before continuing to edit. All right, so we'll hit continue, and as you can see, our timeline is moving. Right now, Polarr Next is analyzing all the metadata from our project, looking at the time, looking at the camera make, model, everything. And you can see down here at the bottom left, we've got these little spinny wheels showing you that Polarr Next is analyzing, and you can see the percentage there. It's about 60% done. This session was 858 photos big. So right now, Polarr Next is just going through, it's analyzing all the data, finding all the faces, and getting all that rating data, eyes, open, close data, and it's also grouping everything. So here, this first tooltip says change auto group setting to show fewer or more groups. So this auto group setting, you guys, if you want to see less groups, which would equal logically, right, more images, then you would click on few. When you first load into culling, we're going to put you in default, see if you like it, and then you can adjust it by either seeing fewer groups or more groups. And of course, by logic, right, if you see more groups, that means there's less photos in each group, and that means like you're going to have more individual photos and moments and stuff. So we're going to click next, and it's going to tell you can sort your photos by file name, date, filters, subfolder, and camera. And then at the bottom right, you can see all of our filter options, being able to flag, unflag, reject, star rate, all that. And then when we're done with the cull, you can go all the way to the top right, and then we can hit finish and edit. So just a quick reminder as well, at the bottom left part of the screen, you can see this keyboard icon, and you're able to see all the different hotkeys and shortcuts within our program. And right here in the middle, we've got rating and labeling. So if you want to set a star rating, it's keys 1 through 5. If you want to remove a star rating, it is 0. And then we also have set color labeling. So that's 6 through 9. To remove the color label, it's control 0. And then to flag a photo is P, reject is X, unflag is U. You can also hide and unflag by pressing H, control H. And then if you want to completely remove a photo, or for photos like blurry or just really junk, you can always just delete it out of your project. So for the purpose of today's video, let's see how much time we have. I'm gonna actually try and attempt to cull this entire project. I haven't actually been able to cull it yet since I've shot it, but we're going to get in there. We're going to cull it. I do have other software that I normally cull my projects in, and that's kind of one thing that our users have you know, given us feedback on, is that they would prefer to be able to cull and edit in the same program. So the navigation's pretty easy. Basically, when you start out, you're gonna be in a group. So this right here is that group that we're in. It says there's 13 photos here, and so we've got 1, 2, 3 all the way to 13. If I go left and right, I have the ability to quickly navigate through. But if I want to go down to this bottom strip, I can just press the down key, and now I can go left and right to that bottom down key, down strip. So if I wanted to go back into the group, I would find my group I want to go in, press the up key, and now I'm back into that group. If we're in this group navigating and say I'm all the way at the end and I just keep pressing the right key, then I can just go right to the next group. I don't have to go up and down if I don't want to. So that's really cool. All right, so I'm gonna attempt, and we're gonna try and cull this in the time that I have today with you guys. So I'm gonna select, let's see, fewer groups. I want to see how actually let me maybe I'll just stick with the default culling mode here, and I'm gonna use my keyboard keys to, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then color 6, 7, 8, 9. All right, so awesome. Okay, let's go ahead and we're gonna rate all these. We're gonna color these, and if you guys have any questions at all, I'm gonna be calling away. But if you have any questions about anything so far, please let us know. The way that I cull, I don't really assign like 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever. I just kind of pick what I'm going to edit. If I like a photo, I think it's interesting enough, then I'm gonna pick it with P. And you can see down here at the bottom right that I've got the little flag. Okay, one thing I want to do real quick, I want to move my face into this space right here so that you guys can actually see the auto group tabs. There you go. So you can turn it off if you want, if you'd rather go through your photos without it being grouped, or I can just turn it on, and there you go. So we are still working on this culling mode. As you can see, like this photo here, we're able to see this one face, but we haven't populated this face yet. And then in this photo, there's no face, or actually the face is blank. So very interesting. All right, let's go. Let's go ahead and cull through this. I remember a couple years back when I was live streaming, and I was culling in Lightroom, and that was kind of like my usual. This is like before I ever like jumped into any of the newer AI programs for culling and stuff. And man, I had so many people commenting like, why do you cull in Lightroom? It's so slow. You should check out Photo Mechanic. I never had the chance to check out Photo Mechanic before I started using other AI programs out there, but one thing you're gonna notice, just like with editing, is just how fast it is going through the photos here. So as you can see right here, I've got 2 faces or 2 heads populated in the face focus. I believe I was trying to focus on the ring in this shot, but let's see. Yeah, it does look like it kind of hit the focus on the ring, maybe on the arm actually, but you can see the scores on the focus. There's a soft focus here, and then like a worse soft focus there. So that's what the AI is rating there. But we're gonna go ahead. You can see I nailed the focus on the ring a bit better there. There we go. Whisper some sweet nothings. All right, let's keep going. Maybe I want a variation of that. Ooh, this one's nice. So this shot here, had to wait for the timing on the wave for the wave to crash. Let's see. But I do like, let's see. Brother Man's got a nice smile here, so we're gonna pick that one. And I do like that the water, because when the water sprays, it does create this like very misty white background. You can't really tell what's going on. It's just like this mist of white. I could just choose one of those. But what I love is like the texture combination of everything, where you've got rocks poking out of the water and everything like that. So let's maybe do that. She's got a really nice smile right there. We've got our face focus actually working pretty good here. Nice. All right, going in for that kiss. I love that moment where they like pull away and then they still smile at one another. That's such a nice effect there. All right, turning. So far as groups go, I don't mind if Polarr Next puts these different orientations in the same group, because to me it's the same pose. So whether I'm like landscape or vertical in portrait orientation, I don't mind it being in the same group. But like now that I've gone to a different pose here, different angle, I like that it's got this different grouping here. Awesome. There we go. Again, another new group. Love it. Let's keep going here. I don't know how far, guys, we're gonna be able to get with culling these. Let's see. The thing about like group culling is that when it groups all your photos, it turns your like 1,000 photo project into a project that feels like there's only maybe 200 or 300 photos to go through, because it sorts and looks for those unique poses, you know? Whereas like when you're just culling and going through the entire project and you're just going through photo after photo, it just feels like it's never ending. And this is what I love about manual culling. It is nice to have AI to just to do one click and then it just tells you like which ones are good, which ones are bad. But you know, in my experience and a lot of feedback from a lot of people is that most of the time when AI does that, you can't just like click it and then be done with it. You still got to do multiple rounds of going through your images, making sure that it's selected images that you want to edit and that it didn't leave out anything that you try to do creatively during your session. And so I'm really loving these shots. This couple is so fun to work with. Oh, there we go. We got the kiss on the forehead. We got some light streaking through, trying to move back and forth to get that light peeking around his shoulder. There we go. Really nice smile there with the ring shot. Maybe do one that includes her eyes, and then maybe do one that has mouth closed. So I don't know if you guys can see, but as I've been going through and selecting images, you can see that there's a number here that shows the number of photos within the group. And then you can see down here, there's also a little circle with the number. And this shows you that if I go to this group, there are 2 images that I've rated, that I've either rated, flagged, or applied a color filter to it. So like for this one, or actually let's go to where I was. Let's go here. So like for this, if I use P and flag it, it shows 1 circle, 1 indicator. If I do like an 8 and I mark green, it'll show I've also rated or starred a photo. And then let's rate something. So let's maybe do a 5. So you can see I've got 3 photos that have been affected here. So I can take those away. And now I've only got the 1. There we go. And because I don't do rating or do color filters, I will just pick them. All right. Ooh, I really, really love this shot. Got some nice haze action going on here. Funny, we've got this guy standing here in the background. This location, oh, the thing about Maui is, let's see, whoopsies, I accidentally pressed the down key. The thing about Maui is it's inevitable that you're gonna get people in the background. You don't want to be that photographer yelling at people saying, get out of my shot. Hey, buddy, I'm taking photos. You don't want to be that guy, especially with like generative fill and like Photoshop. You can easily remove people from the background. And I understand that it does create more work for you on the back end, but I would rather do more work on the back end than make myself look like a jerk in front of my clients or in front of, you know, the public and stuff. So that's just a little thing I want to point out. I'll put it out there. All right. Ooh, love that moment. Super sweet, super lovely. Awesome. Let's go through here. We got some light kissing, some forehead to forehead action, always very intimate. Let's go through here. All right, maybe this is a good stopping point here because I want to be able to give enough time to potentially, hopefully be able to, there's someone who submitted some photos that they wanted me to edit. Maybe I can get to that. And then let me see if I can download all these at once. Probably not, but let me see. I'm gonna hit download on all of them. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let's see. Just want to make sure I downloaded them all. All right. What up, Ken? Does it select based on after the style is applied or just based photo without edits? And can the rating change after editing? Sorry if this was asked already. Has been asked already, Ken. Currently right now, when we're culling in this mode, we haven't done any edits and you don't have the ability to apply any presets or anything to it during culling. When we bring it into finish and edit, we are looking at the ability to go back to cull. But when you go back to cull, say like you've culled your images, you go into editing, you start to edit those culled images, and then you go back to culling, we will show those changes in culling mode. But right out the gate, when you start culling just from scratch, you don't have the ability to apply any presets or anything like that. And then as far as rating goes, if you go into editing and change your rating, then you go back into culling mode, yes, it'll still show that your rating has changed. But let me just end with picking maybe this last image here. There we go. All right, so what we're gonna do before we go into editing mode is I'm gonna go through all the images that I've flagged. And as you can see, like I said, the reason why I love going through grouping culling is that, like, even though I have 63 images here, it doesn't feel very overwhelming. I have 63 images, but I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 different groups. So like 20 more or less like unique poses or compositions that that I'll be delivering to this client. So that is a lot. So what we'll do is we'll go through here and we'll actually now kind of like apply some color filters and ratings and stuff like that. So let's maybe do like greens on the one that I really love. Yeah, let's do greens on the ones that I really, really love. And maybe these greens can be the ones that, like, I know I'm going to send out as on my blog or something like that. Yeah, let's say the greens are the ones that I'm gonna focus on exporting and putting out on my blog. Actually, I really like that one. There we go. Nice. So now I have greens. Awesome. All right. So here we go. We're going to go ahead and finish up and move all our stuff into editing. We're going to go finish and edit. All right. So we've got the ability now to select which photos we're going to edit. And so as you saw, the green filtered images were taken from the flagged photos. So I don't really need to select only. Actually, if I wanted to only edit the greens, I could, but like I don't really need to. I can just select flagged, and there we go. If I select green, it's kind of like redundant, so it's not gonna make duplicates or anything like that. So I'm just gonna select flagged 63, and we're gonna go edit finished, and then let's see, we're gonna go Polarr pre-trained AI style. We'll just start off with this. Let's just do tender for some tender moments. All right, and as you can see, we've got Polarr Next already starting to edit all of the flagged images. Hold on a second, my headset's beeping at me. It's time to change my headset's battery. All right. Man, look how fast that was. Just in a matter of me changing my headset battery, it's already finished editing my entire project. I don't know, I'm always amazed at that. Okay, so as you can see, we've got all 63 flagged photos in here, and as well as all the photos that we marked green that I'm planning to put these up on my blog from this awesome engagement session. So you can see that all the ratings are still intact and everything. And then here at the bottom, we've got this hidden eye icon. And if you want to know what happened to all the images that were not selected or didn't make the cut for your editing session, you can go to that hidden eye, and let me undo the flag. And now we can see all the images that didn't get selected. So what's so awesome about this is, again, you guys, you have the ability to go through all your images if you want, and you can go in and you can start, say, like, for instance, I actually really like this image and I want to bring it into my editing. Then I could press P, and real quick, this is 0067. I press P, so I flagged it, and then now I can unhide it, and let's go to it real quick. Where is it? Remember, guys, it was 0067. 0067, where are you? Right here. 0067, and look at this, guys. I unhid it. I flagged it, and if I flagged it or it doesn't matter. What matters is if I hide it or not. But I flagged it just so it's consistent with everything else. But when I unhid the photo, not only did it bring it to like my active timeline, but it also processed it. Look at that. it actually edited it as soon as I unhid the photo. So if I go back, these are all the images that were unselected. I can go in and say, hey, I really want this photo. This is 0181. If I unhide it, let's go back to my film strip, 0181 right here. It's been processed. So this is like a massive advantage that Polarr Next has over all the different programs out there that, you know, they might be really good at culling, and they have culling that's super fast. They've got AI that can, you know, cull your whole project in 5 minutes or whatever. That's great. But then once it sends it over to Lightroom, you're at the mercy of Lightroom. You're at the mercy of how slow Lightroom is. You're at the mercy of having two just disjointed programs. Whereas Polarr Next, everything is here. Your whole project is here. The project that you culled really quickly with our auto grouping is all here. If you want to go in and unhide photos that weren't selected, you can easily unhide them, and now they're brought to your active timeline and they're being processed with everything else. So Ken, right now I see in this build we don't have the ability for you to go right back into cull mode. That is something that we are working on, and it's going to be a seamless transition, as if you're in Lightroom and you're in develop mode, and then you want to go into edit mode, and then you want to go back to develop mode or library mode. We're going to have that ability to do that. But right now, let's say I want to completely like redo the cull. Say like, for instance, I don't know, you know, like say you get home from a wedding and you want to try and cull the wedding that night, and then you wake up in the morning, you're like, what the heck was I doing? I must have been super tired. I did a really bad job culling all these. Let me just redo it. In the top left corner, by the home key icon, you can see the name of the project. If you click it, you have the ability to reset. And so when you reset the photo, it's going to reset everything. So it's going to overwrite your catalog file and your style file. So all the edits and everything that I did, we're going to completely reset. So once we do that, it's going to take us all the way to this. How do you want to start? Cull or edit? And we'll go cull. And there you go. We are right back to our culling mode. All the ratings, all the filters, the star ratings, color filters have all been reset. So in this instance, Ken, it does reset all that stuff. But like I said, we are working on the ability of going back to this mode with all of like the ratings and color filters and things like that saved. So let me just fly through these again. I want to show you guys some other things real quick. Let's fly through these. And this time I'm just going to do a bunch of different ratings. All right, let's see. I'm just going to do a whole gamut of different picks and flags and star ratings and things like that. Here we go. I know there are some of you out there who like to, you know, grade your entire project from 1 star to 4 stars, 5 stars, get real intricate and complex with your culling, which is totally fine. All right, let's keep going. Let's do few groups here actually. Let's do few groups. All right, let's go through here. Okay. All right, we made it back to this little stopping point. All right, let's go to finish and edit again. And now you can see I've got all kinds of different things going on here. So what we're gonna do is, let's say I will only want to import the greens, the blues, because I know reds and yellows are bad. And then I definitely want to import all of the star rated images, because these are all ones I want to edit, and then all the flagged. So now I have multiple selections of these filters. I can go edit selected, and again, we will use a pre-trained style. And let's go with a different look. Let's go with Tuscany. And now we're jumping into the project. Polarr Next is already processing all the images. And there we go. Now we have all of our different flags, color filters, star ratings there at the bottom. I was like, did I bring over a red photo? It looks like it brought this one over because not only did I mark it with the red filter, but I also flagged it, and I did select flagged photos. So this one squeaked in there. All right, so chat, as you guys know, Polarr Next, again, you know, I started out with a pre-trained AI style. The beauty of Polarr Next being able to get in there and start to edit and then mark your photo as a reference, with it being able to update in real time, making your editing session so fast and efficient, training your AI style on the fly. Awesome. All right. So let's see here. So that's Culling Mode. Look at that. Super easy. All in one program. You have the ability to go back and forth between culling and editing if you need to reset your culling, but all in one project. I didn't have to send, or I didn't have to jump into an AI editing, an AI culling program and then finish that and then send that catalog to Lightroom and blah, blah, blah. Everything happened seamless, like pain-free. Like it was so easy to be able to cull in here. So let me show you guys real quick now. I did want to show you our My AI Styles tab. Just checking the time, see what we're doing. If you guys have any other questions about culling or anything like that, please let us know. I'd be more than happy to jump right back into culling for you guys. But as you can see, we started with this Tuscany style, and we've got, let's see, one reference trained. So here at the left side, we've got this My AI Style tab. And the reason why we've got this My AI Style tab is just because when you're creating your AI styles, when we put it in your folders, they're kind of like hidden away. Unless we really point it out to you or you watch some of our tutorial videos, for new users, you're not going to really be able to see and figure out where those files are. And you can see here in this project, we've got the polar.style file down there. But we want to create this styles tab to be able to give you all the ability to like look and see like what styles do you have currently being trained and used. So you can see here, I've got this one Tuscany. If I wanted to go in to this project and rename it to something else that's more easily identifiable, so we can call this like Sunga Sunset. So I know Sunga is the last name of my clients and it was a sunset shoot. You can see that the style name has been updated there. And if I were to use this AI style, I can go select, and now I can bring in a totally new project and I can edit with the Sunga Sunset. I didn't recall. That's so funny. It just went right into culling mode. Okay. So obviously that's a bug. All right, so here we go. Use a style from previous project. We're gonna go Sunga, and now it's starting to edit all the photos based on that Sunga style. But say now I've made a bunch of different reference edits and I went with something that's a little bit cooler. There we go. And say I wanted to change it and rename it to Chin Forest, because this is the last name of my clients and I took these photos in a forest. If I look back at my AI styles, there we go. Now this style has changed. And the reason why it didn't create like a new AI style is because it started with this Sunga project, but I'm basically taking that same AI style and applying it here. And you can see that there are different versions right here. This project, which was the Sunga engagement, and then now it's on this project. You can choose to go in and say like, okay, I don't like what I did with the chin. forest. Let me go in and use the Sangha engagement style. I can totally do that. So there's that. You can also import. So say if you got an AI style that you trained, let's see, this one, I know I've got like over 1,000 reference edits, something close to that. We'll import that AI style. Let's import another project. All right, so now I've got this style imported. This is my South Maui Garden style. And we can go into my AI styles again. And now you can see the South Maui Gardens AI style. There was 208 references. Let me see. Let me do another wedding. I've got this one. All right, let's do this AI style and we'll bring in another wedding. Let's see. All right, this one, Kukahiko Estate. And I'm gonna double check, see how many references were edited on this. So this one's 245. So now I've got all these different AI styles populating, and the pictures will show up once it's done processing through the entire project. But there you go. There's your AI styles tab. You have the ability to go and just see exactly what your styles look like on your images. If you want to use that AI style for another project, you have the ability to do that. But we wanted to bring your AI styles to the forefront on your home screen so that your styles aren't hidden away. One thing to keep in mind, guys, is that when you clear out like your browser cache on Google Chrome, these will go away. So you will have to like re-upload. Or I found when I'm using Polarr Next and I haven't touched an older AI style for a while, it'll be like it'll eventually like go away. So if you want to repopulate any type of AI styles that you've got trained going on, you can easily just hit that import and then import the style, and then you're able to use it with the project that you're working on. So all right, so we got about 10 minutes left. I feel like I was flying through it like crazy. I wish, man, I could spend like the entire live stream just talking about our culling mode, because I'm really excited for our culling mode. I think it's going to be a huge game changer for Polarr Next and for all of our users who use multiple programs to edit and cull in their workflow. We know that Polarr Next culling is going to help streamline their entire workflow, and it's just really exciting to be able to see it all happen and develop. Okay, so real quick, we did have a question come in from our RSVPs. This one is from Rustam, and they wanted to know, or Rustam, yeah, I think that's how you say the name. From Rustam, he wants to know, they want to know, how does Polarr Next utilize AI? So I did a little investigating. I got to talk with some of our engineers and stuff, and I wanted to make sure there's a certain threshold I can talk about our AI. But in essence, when it comes to Polarr Next editing, Polarr Next uses AI to apply reference edits adaptively across the entire album in diverse scenes and lighting conditions. So that's one way that we utilize AI, is the ability to like recognize and adapt edits across the different diverse lighting conditions. And then also our AI can batch apply advanced retouching, like our spot healing, as well as local adjustments and masks. So for instance, let me just show you that. Let me jump in here. Let me find a sequence really quickly, like a good clean sequence real fast. Let's go down. Let's go down to Okay, let's go to this sequence right here. We should be able to. So for instance, like this sequence right here, these are pretty much the same. The way we utilize AI, if I'm gonna use spot healing, say that I just think this rose is super ugly and I just want to get rid of it. Let's spot heal it out. And oh great, I love the texture of this sleeve. That looks so much better than the rose. Oh yeah, definitely, let's go with that. If I mark this as a reference, the way we utilize AI is that it has the ability to recognize the change that we made here. And if there are similar images that have this same ugly rose on his shoulder and we want to replace it with the guy's sleeve, we can mark it as a reference and the AI will recognize that and apply that same spot healing across multiple images. So that's one way we utilize AI. Another way, again, let's say we find, actually, let's just use the same image because we got 3 here in a row. Let's say we want to apply a mask, and let's do like a radio mask, and we want to create like a natural vignette, but also kind of highlight their faces. Okay, and the way that we can do this, one of my friends showed me this, but I use a lot of inverted radio masks. So you'll create like your radio mask and then invert it, and then maybe feather it up a little bit more. And now let's apply like a darker exposure. And now what's happening is it's darkening up the rest of the image, but where this radio mask is, it's keeping the edit the same. So yes, you could, if you wanted, you could brighten up this area, but the reason why I invert it a lot of the times is because when you invert it, this part, like this edit is perfect the way I want it. I can just go in here, invert this mask, and just darken the surrounding area, keeping this perfect while just darkening up this. And now I'm highlighting my client's face. All right, so there's the before, there's the after, and then let's show you the before and after on the mask here. Before, after, before, after. So you can really tell that like the eye is really gravitating to that lighter area. Now, the way we utilize AI, again, for the AI's ability to see the changes that we made here, we hit M again to apply it as a reference, mark it as reference, and you can see the AI has already applied the radio mask in that same area. And look at this. Let's look at the mask here. Look how close it is to the edge there. And then here, it's the AI actually moved the mask so it's staying consistent with where it is on the hair. You can see this outer line going through that braid. Again, here's the outer line going through the braid. It's not like all the way at the edge of the screen. And same here. So really, really cool. Our AI is, that's why I love using this AI so much, is that it has the ability to recognize that. And then of course, as you can see, there's so many different diverse like lighting scenarios here. Bright outdoors, indoor, darker shaded areas, covered forest. For the most part, like I'm just skimming through here, it looks pretty consistent. The editing look here looks very consistent across all of the different lighting conditions. So that is one way that we utilize AI. Rustam, I hope that answered your question. And then of course, since we have culling, I might as well jump into that as well. For culling, the way that we utilize AI is that it has the ability to cluster the same images. So, you know, auto grouping is a feature that we got a lot of feedback on from users who were wanting, you know, culling in our program. Auto grouping is something that helps to speed up your culling process by not allowing you, or, you know, you don't have to go through all, you know, let's say I've got 527 images here. I don't have to go through all 2,500, you know, 500 of them. I could literally just go through and select, you know, maybe a couple from this group and then just go to the next one. All right, here, this one, bam, there we go. I can look at them all, decide what I want. And so it just helps to speed that up. So our AI is able to cluster those. And then of course, if you wanted to see less groups, then you go to default. And then if you really want to see less groups and more photos, then you click on more. And all this has been processed by our AI being able to analyze the metadata, to recognize all the faces, to apply focus and eye rating scores. All of that was done behind the scenes. And you can see I'm not even waiting for it to analyze anymore. It's just done. And I'm going through image to image. Like, these are all the raw photos, and I'm not waiting for it to load. It's just super fast and responsive. Yeah, so Restan, I hope that answered your question. If anyone else has any questions, I would love to be able to answer it before we wrap up our stream. We've got a couple minutes left. Let me see if I can. There's a user who sent in a bunch of images, and there was only 10, and I wonder if I can squeeze that in for today, since we only do these live streams once a month. Let's see here if I can download this pretty easily. Download attachments. All right, here we go. I'm gonna go ahead and download all these images. I actually want to download these and throw them into our culling and then edit them. Let's go ahead and do that. So again, while I'm doing that, if there's anyone who's got any questions, please feel free, throw it into the chat, and then we'll be able to answer it for you. Almost done downloading these images. All right, one thing about these before I bring them into Polarr Next, that these are JPEGs. So I might not have the ability to fully dive deep on the edits just because the information that's there is not as deep as RAWs, but I still will be able to edit. And again, pointing out, one of the cool things about our program is that you're able to batch edit with the AI, even with JPEG files. All right. Here's what we're gonna do. All right, so let me go ahead and create a new project, and this was sent in to us. I'm probably gonna butcher the name, so I apologize, but this is from Thuy Tien. Thank you so much for sending these in, and we'll start with the cull, and you can see here there were 10 images. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 groups. All right, so these are all JPEGs here. All right. I don't know, this might be the, oh my gosh. Do you guys see the masking menu is still there from from our editing mode? It's so funny. Let me, hold on, what project was I editing? Was it this one? I think it was this one. All right, let me close the mask menu. It's funny that it persisted. Okay. All right, so let me go fewer groups. Okay, so now let's group these. Let's say I want this one. And let's go in here. So JPEG thumbnails are stretched out. This is good. I'm glad you submitted these photos, because this is a little bug that we can work on. So maybe I'll pick this one. Maybe we'll pick this one. Let's go to these. Yeah, I'll pick this one. That's really pretty. That one, that one. What a cool spot. Okay, let's go ahead and finish and edit. And we'll go flagged here, and we'll go edit the flagged, and let's use the AI style. Let's use that South Maui Garden one. I really love that. All right, so here we go. Toy, so we're gonna go through your images here, and I'm just gonna edit them like how I normally would. We're gonna bring down the exposure, so we bring back all those colors. All right. It did look like your subject is out of focus. This was shot at f4 with a Canon EOS R7. So still really nice. There we go. Straighten up that crop there. We're going to mark it as a reference. We're going to go in here. Let's go ahead. I'm going to go in. Just work on the cropping a little bit. And I'm going to center her up. Kind of want to get that post out of the way. There we go. All right. There's the before. There's the after. There we go. Just kind of punch it up a little bit. Nothing too crazy. Mark that as a reference. Go here. Let's actually copy these edits and we'll apply it there. And then we're going to straighten it up again. Bring that crop down. There we go. And then just straighten it up just a little bit more. Nice. Looking good so far. And this one, again, here's the before, after. Our little adjustments just really punched it up. Brought back some vivid color there. And then I do tend to like edit with crushing those blacks a little bit. So let me just add that in. There we go. There we go. That looks good. Don't have to do much there. Let's go in here. This one, I did want to straighten it a little bit more. But really, really nice background. We'll go in here. Maybe crop this down a little bit. This shot here was probably taken a little bit too high for my liking. What I could actually do is maybe even bring this up a little. Crop that in just so that we have more of the focus on the face. And then this beautiful background with the flowers. And then we'll mark that. Safeway, get out of here. I don't want to listen to you. There we go. Okay. All right. And then last but not least, we got this one. So the AI style was applied and you can see it's pretty bright. We can easily just remedy that by bringing the exposure down, or I can paste. Let's see. Let's paste these edits from here. There we go. And I want to match these greens. They look a little bit more faded, not as vibrant as this. So I definitely going to go into the, I could do point color or HSL. I'm just going to do HSL and maybe we can desaturate, move the slider hue a little bit. There we go. Getting the greens to match with the rest of our project. All right, there we go. And we'll look at the grid view and we can see that these look pretty good. These look really consistent from what we had before. And that was a really, really, really quick edit of your session there, Toy. So thank you so much for sending them in. And I hope to see you next time during our editing session. And let me know what you think about these edits. So before we wrap up today, we're going to go ahead and end our stream. I want to thank you guys so much for hanging out and watching. If we do have any viewers in here, we do want to give away some export credits. Let me see here. The command !winner, I believe. Or no recent chatters. All right, so Jonathan, I don't know if we're gonna be able to give away. We'll probably select from our RSVP. That might be the play, just to select manually from our RSVP. But in any case, thank you everyone so much for joining us today. I really had fun going through our culling mode, and I hope you guys really loved what you saw. We're really close. I can't give you guys a concrete date on when culling is going to come out, but let's just say soon. All right, sooner than you think. So Make sure to join our Facebook group. Jonathan, thanks so much for posting the link in there where you can join our community, connect with other Polarr Next users, and get some cool editing tips, inspiration from everyone. We also do have an Instagram account if you guys want to follow us there. We'll be posting snippets and highlights from our Polarr Next interviews and video content. Speaking of which, if you are not subscribed to our YouTube channel, make sure that you get subscribed to our channel so that you don't miss out on our latest videos. And I just put out a new interview yesterday with a photographer from Dallas, Texas, Carly Cowan. So make sure you check that out. She has some really cool insights from her journey as a photographer, and then really great insights from using Polarr Next. So with that being said, guys, we are looking ahead into September at the last Wednesday of September, which would be the 25th. So stay tuned. We will be announcing more for our live stream then and all the things that will be going on with it. Thank you everyone so much for joining us today. My name is Aaron Nahara, and Jonathan, thanks again for being here, and we'll see you all next month. All right, guys, have a good one.